Hello, YouTube. It's Auston Holleman back again, and I'm coming back to doing more videos like this because this is where my content grew the most from sitting here and giving information rather than just doing lives. It's not that I don't like doing lives, but this is what I'm gonna do because this is where I started and this is what works. And I need more men to get my message because I feel like my subscriber count has slowed down and I need more men to realize, wake up and smell the coffee and realize what's going on by watching my content. So today we're going to be talking about, is the manosphere needed overseas? I'm going to tell you why. These problems that we have really are just first world problems, US problems. Of course, places like England may have similar issues where they have a manosphere as well. But these are first world problems, like I said. This is coming straight from my mind. I'm reading my notes that I wrote down for this. The manosphere is not needed in places like China, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines. They're not as liberal. We can even go to the extreme of saying North Korea. They're not as liberal of a society as the United States or places like England. They still value and do not allow men to be emasculated. So we know places like, to touch on the liberal thing, we know that places like China are a communist society where they control all media, they control everything, almost like a dictatorship, right? And when you have that, kind of, to be honest, that's kind of what the United States needs at this point, because you have the Chinese men, pretty much men, controlling everything that people think, the way they behave, all the way down. Like, they even have it where if you send certain messages out, the other person won't reach it if it's a message that they have blacklisted that they don't approve. They go look it up. They have documentaries over it. In the United States, you can say whatever you want. You know, we're arguing about that, how there's 900 different genders now. That could never happen in places like China. That, you know, that they don't allow new biology to happen. Let's just say that. So when you have freedom, freedom is dangerous. You know, we live in the United States. We're basically completely free. I don't give a fuck if you believe that or not. We're completely free. And hey, that, like the Second Amendment, that's a form of freedom. But look at what comes with that. You got people running up in grocery stores doing all sorts of crazy things now. But they still value family and do not allow men to be emasculated. I'm saying that again. In places like, let's go with the Philippines. They're more religious there. They're very family oriented. But they don't allow women or other men to emasculate, because we have men doing this too, to emasculate men by making them feel like they are less of, they're trying to strip you of all the testosterone you've got in the States now. They're literally they're literally chopping your dick off. That's where we're at in the United States. So for everybody that doesn't know, you oblivious people that don't know what I'm talking about, now you know what I'm talking about. You can see it just as good as I can see it. Quit acting stupid. Gender equality is not a reality in most places like Iraq, China, and the Philippines. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying that I believe that women shouldn't be able to be an engineer or a doctor. But this foolishness that men and women are not the same and we don't even have the same genitalia, that delusion is not in Iraq, in Saudi Arabia. You know, they're hurting people for thinking like that over there. You know, you, not saying that's what we should have here, but I'm just telling you, when these governments or these theocracies have more control over their people, foolishness thinking is not allowed to flourish in places like Iraq. Like I said, women should be able to have whatever career they want, but there is no I don't need a man to play. Women still know that they need men in these places. Even in Brazil, women can be doctors. Women can do just as much as they can here when it comes to careers. They've had a female president. But when I talk to those women there, they still say they need a man. There is no I don't. I can't beat a dead horse at that. We need each other. I don't know what the hell is so hard to understand about that. I've never said I don't need women. I won't die without a woman, but if I want to keep the human race going, I need a woman. I can't do it with a man. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. But men are understood and not demonized for things like sex drives, leadership, and masculine traits. This is, and I hate this one. In the United States, you wanting sex from a woman is now a crime. Literally, it's a fucking crime. You wanting sex from a woman is shame, but yet your male biology allows you to impregnate 365 women a year plus if you wanted to. I mean, you could run if you had access to as many women as you wanted, you could run up in 20, you could bust 20 nuts in one goddamn day. And if you got some good sperm and you do that every single day, which is highly unlikely, but you get the point, you can get basically as many women pregnant as you want. You can get thousands of, I mean, Genghis Khan did it. That's in our biology. Why would your body be able to do that many times in one day if it's not natural? So why are we shaming men for wanting sex? Anyway, that's what keeps the human population alive. You're stupid if you think otherwise. Leadership. Men are naturally leaders. I don't care what any woman says. Every woman wants a man that has leadership. No woman wants a man that when we're staying at our house and some guy breaks in to steal all our stuff, I go lock myself in the closet and I wait for her to make the first move. Bullshit. You're not attracted to men like that. Quit acting stupid. Y'all are killing. And other masculine traits like that. There's just a lot of masculine traits that are now being identified as toxic masculinity. That is only a word that exists in first world countries. They're not saying that in North Korea for sure. They're not saying that in Saudi Arabia. They're not saying that. No, that's not a thing. Men are not encouraged to express their emotions. I say this myself. Am I saying if your grandmother dies, don't cry? No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't take it to that extreme. You see time and time again, women are encouraging men to be emotional when they're not attracted to that. What leader is emotional as hell all the time? Let's not use our current president today. Let's use Trump. How would you feel if COVID happened? The pandemic just starts and Trump's up there stuttering, crying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to. You wouldn't trust the leader. You would want a new president. It's masculine for a man to be stoic, be able to remain calm. If you watch my Purple Pill podcast here in Dallas, the chick was calling me a motherfucker and called me out my name, trying to piss me off. And I didn't get phased. It didn't. I actually was kind of funny to me, but I didn't even laugh for it. I just looked at her like, okay, I don't give a fuck. That's a leadership quality. That's not even disagreeable. Hey, here, that's a problem now in the States. They don't understand it. But what's really happening, you guys, is they want to emasculate you so that way they can reign superiority over you. The women in the States want to take your place. It's just like racism. I've said this before. White men used to put themselves, and I'm not even going to say used to, white men put themselves above every other minority race. That's the same thing that feminism is promoting now. Now it's not, oh, we want the same jobs, we want to be able to vote. Now it's, okay, we got all that. Now we want to be better than you. So now we need to cut your dicks off literally and make you feel like you should wear dresses and paint your fingernails. Not me. You should express your emotions, yes, but you shouldn't be crying all the time. I only cry usually when somebody dies. I'm not saying you had to do that, but that's just me. It's not that I try to not cry in other situations. I just don't. I'm stoic. I just don't. I'm not fazed by a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it makes you less of a man, but I'm just saying it is more masculine to be stoic. Yes. Men are not encouraged to be shamed publicly. Name one other country where there are TV, or one other place that's not a first world country, where there are TV shows, thousands, if not millions of women on TikTok bragging about how men are terrible, about how they manipulate men, just all these horrible things about men. Where else has that happened? Nowhere. You're not going to China and you're damn sure not seeing that in China. You're not seeing it in Iraq, Arabia. You're not seeing it in Afghanistan. The Taliban's not having that shit. So yeah, take that exactly how I said it. Men are still raised by other men in other countries. They still have a lot of other countries. The women are not incentivized to break up the home. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act stupid. Women are incentivized to divorce their husbands or put a man on child support, to the point where now you can be put on child support before the baby's born. So, hey, that might not even be a baby, and the baby might end up in a miscarriage, but you'll still have to pay for it. How does that sound? Get your passport. Still have families. And when you have a family household and the roles are being played and the wife is not stepping out of line with the husband and trying to emasculate him and shame him, the kids watch that and they learn. I grew up in a single parent household, but I say I grew up in a regular household. It's just my parents and I lived together, but I seen my father enough to know what it's like, what a man should behave like. I'm not saying my dad's the most perfect person, because I know you motherfuckers are gonna try to nitpick my shit. But I will say my dad did toughen me up a lot. And when you don't have a man, or it doesn't have to be a dad, but just a male figure, whether it's an older brother or not, If you don't have that in your life, you are more likely to be soft. That's why single mothers do not raise men. My mother did a great job raising me. But had I not had my older brother, my dad, my grandfather, my uncles, I probably would have been a little soft. I probably would have been super sensitive to criticism. Clearly, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Clearly, I'm not sensitive to criticism because I get thousands and thousands of comments a month talking real bad shit about me. I get a video made about me every day by phony ass YouTubers that have 3 times my subscriber count, but 3 times less of engagement. Would you imagine that? Lastly, I want to say that feminists are not gaining superiority through the words like toxic masculinity. I said this earlier, misogyny, because the movements are not as heavy there. Wherever feminism is at, men are softer at. You can't disagree with that. Where's one place where there's pretty much somewhere like North Korea that's pretty much blocked off from the rest of the world. But we can go ahead and assume that feminism is at an all-time low in there. That means that women more than likely don't have the same rights. In Afghanistan, you know, women are forced married in Afghanistan to grown men. That clearly they don't have the same rights. So how can a woman have superiority over the male in that culture? They don't. Therefore, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity or misogyny, because those types of words, they may have been created by men. I don't know if they were or not. Yeah, I'm a very logical person. I'm not sitting over here just Googling shit all day and getting statistics. I use logic. That's why I feel like my debates are undefeatable. They don't use words like toxic masculinity and misogyny because, yes, a man could have made that. Who is throwing that word around the most? Men that don't date women and women. Let me say that again. Women use those words a lot, and the men that do not date women use those words a lot. Misogyny, toxic masculinity. I don't like it when I hear a man say, "Oh, that's toxic masculinity." I can understand where they're going with that. Yeah, as a man, it's annoying to hear that. That's my opinion. You can be offended. I offend a lot of you motherfuckers. But I'm saying all that to say, what does the Manosphere do? The Manosphere is people like me that are making content like this. I just so happen to be a passport, bro, because I realized this Manosphere is not really going to fix anything in the States. So my thing is, I'm making you aware so you can leave the States. The Manosphere is a section of the internet that is made to combat feminism and combat the emasculation of men. So does that exist? Do you think that exists in Afghanistan or Pakistan? No, because they don't have these same issues. So does the manosphere exist overseas? It depends what country. Second, third, and fourth world countries, we're going to have to go ahead and go to a no based off using logic. You can Google it, prove me wrong if you want. I don't give a damn. But looking at my globe here right now, Australia is the first world. I've seen somebody from Australia calling the Kevin Samuels show. So clearly they need the manosphere there too. India? Fuck no. They still have a caste system in India where people are born into slavery, basically. No, they don't have a manosphere in India. I'm not even going to check. Nigeria and Kenya, they may. I've heard their feminism is taking heat there. Brazil, they have one too. I think they may just be copying off us, but they have feminists there. But dude, I've been to Brazil. They don't need they don't need a manosphere there. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm about to go live there for a while, and maybe my story changed, but so far, no. China, they don't need that. Mongolia, no. Russia, no. I mean, you see they're lying about the war. So, I mean, they have propaganda. They control the internet. That's my opinion on a manosphere needed overseas. Generally speaking, no. Well, you've made it to the end. Thank you for watching my video. If you have not already, go join the Facebook group. It is Enlightened Western Men. Again, that's Enlightened Western Men. The Discord link, you have to join Discord. It's a lot of people getting help. You want to learn how to code, learn a second language. That's all in Discord link in the description. So will the link to the Facebook group. You can contact me at austonholleman@gmail.com. If you want to leave a donation, my Cash App is $Auston Holleman. My PayPal for donations as well is Auston Holleman. I'm also on Patreon. That will be in the description as well. Auston Holleman. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you again soon.